So before Spider-Man Brand New Day even releases, fans are already convinced Marvel and Sony are hiding major characters from the trailer, and to be quite honest, I definitely see where they're coming from. Because one specific shot from the trailer, actually the very last shot of the trailer, reminds us a lot of the last Spider-Man movie. So in this scene, Spider-Man is surrounded by hand ninjas on a rooftop, and if you're unfamiliar with the hand, check out my last video where I explain who they are, and I'm also dropping a Brand New Day related video every day until the film drops. But back to the trailer, fans immediately notice something weird about this visual. The whole shot just feels off. The lower ninjas appear to be looking at somebody standing directly in front of them, yet the frame looks unusually empty. And if you remember what Marvel and Sony did with the trailers for Spider-Man No Way Home, this theory suddenly becomes much more believable. Because during the No Way Home marketing campaign, Marvel digitally removed both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield from multiple trailer shots to preserve the surprise of the three Spider-Man appearing together in the movie. So now fans believe Brand New Day may be doing the exact same thing again, and I think there's a very good chance someone has been edited out of the scene, if not multiple people. The biggest theory right now is Daredevil, and this just makes too much sense, too much for my liking. So the Hand are historically Daredevil villains in both the comics and the Netflix era, so Daredevil spent years battling the Hand alongside characters like Elektra and Stick. So if Spider-Man is suddenly fighting hand ninjas in the MCU, fans immediately assume Matt Murdock has to be connected somehow. And what makes this theory even stronger is the current storyline in Daredevil Born Again. At the end of the newest Born Again season, Matt gets arrested after revealing his secret identity as Daredevil in order to help his case against Wilson Fisk in the finale of Born Again Season 2. Which has led many fans to speculate that the prison sequence shown in Brand New Day could directly connect to Daredevil's story. And if that's true, Marvel may be intentionally hiding Matt from the trailer to preserve the impact of his appearance, just like his cameo in No Way Home. And let's be honest, if Charlie Cox suddenly appears beside Spider-Man fighting hand ninjas in theaters, the audience would completely lose their minds. Especially since we only got Matt as just Peter's lawyer in No Way Home, where he did show Peter his superhuman reflexes catching a brick. But Daredevil isn't the only possibility. A lot of fans think the hidden character could actually be the Punisher. Now, at first it sounds weird because Punisher is already confirmed for the movie and appears elsewhere in the trailer, but Marvel may still be hiding specific action sequences involving Frank Castle, especially because Punisher fighting hand ninjas would just instantly change the tone of the sequence. Spider-Man fights to stop people, Punisher fights to eliminate them permanently. So that contrast could create one of the darkest action scenes ever put in a Spider-Man movie, where Peter has to protect his enemies from his own ally. And I think it would mirror a lot of what Matt had to do in the finale of Born Again Season 1, where he had to prevent Frank from killing the anti-vigilante task force. So Matt's fighting these task force agents, but he's also trying to save them from his ally, the Punisher, who's actually trying to kill them. So they could just be digitally removing Punisher from that scene just to create some hype for us to speculate who's actually in that trailer shot, just like I'm doing right now. So it's working. But I think there's another possibility people aren't talking about enough, and it's Bruce Banner. I think this is a very clear option because we know the Hulk's back. It's not just Bruce Banner, showing up raw. It's full on Hulk, and it's a big shot. I can definitely see where they could fit in Hulk to take up most of this. Maybe it is just Spider-Man and Hulk. It's not three characters. It's not Spider-Man, Punisher, Daredevil, or Sadie Saint's character. It might just be Spider-Man and the Hulk, because the Hulk takes up a lot of room, and it just makes sense. And maybe the reason Hulk is back is because maybe Bruce Banner literally is seeing Spider-Man almost die. Like, he's almost defeated by the Hand, and he's like, screw it, I'm going to take off my Hulk inhibitor, and I'm going to Hulk out to save this kid's life. So, because I hope it's not just, Sadie Saint's character, or whoever, who has mind control abilities, is just mind controlling Banner and releasing the Hulk again, just like, Wanda did in Age of Ultron. I don't want to see that again. I want to see something more creative, and it could just be, Bruce Banner willing to sacrifice to save Spider-Man. I think that would mean more for the character than him just being mind controlled once again, like we've already seen. So it could very well be the Hulk in this scene taking on the hand ninjas, and if I'm the hand ninjas, why am I jumping in front of the Hulk? And you're not going to do anything. So I think that's pretty funny. But it is very likely it could be the Hulk in the shot. Let me know in the comments. Do you think this is a Hulk here? But then there's probably the most mysterious possibility of all, Sadie Saint's character. Sadie Saint is officially confirmed for Brand New Day, but Marvel still refuses to reveal who she's playing. And if Marvel is introducing mutants into street level films like Brand New Day, hiding her role would make complete sense, especially because revealing Jean Grey, if she is playing Jean Grey, she could be playing mutants like Typhoid Mary, Jackpot possibly, but if she really is Jean Grey, revealing that before the movie drops would instantly overshadow almost every other reveal in the trailer and cause more discussion on how in the world Jean Grey is in this universe. And if she is, I would assume it's from an incursion possibly. Heck, maybe she could even be Rachel Summers, the daughter of Cyclops and Jean Grey, and she accidentally got sucked into this universe somehow. So she's a decent possibility. I think the Hulk and Punisher are more likely. But the last two characters I think could be removed from this shot in the trailer are actually some super underrated options. And the first one I want to talk about is Shang-Chi. So Destin Daniel Cretton is directing Brand New Day, and he was the director of Shang-Chi, a film with heavy martial arts action scenes, and now seeing the hand show up, it's just making the dots connect for me. Shang-Chi had his own movie like 5 years ago, and he's confirmed to be in Doomsday, so I wouldn't be surprised if Marvel wanted to include him in this film so people who don't know who he is know him before Doomsday, and are able to get a nice introduction to Shang-Chi. So I actually think there's a decent chance we get Shang-Chi in this movie, but the hardest part of including him is why he's in New York and how he's involved with the hand. Like, to be honest, the last option I want to talk about, I think is much more likely in Shang-Chi. It's actually Iron Fist, and I think he's more likely in Shang-Chi because he has an actual connection to the Hand. The Hand are the ones who killed his parents, and Iron Fist also helped Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage take down the Hand in the Defenders show. Plus, it's heavily rumored that he'll be returning in Daredevil Born Again Season 3, so maybe before he helps Matt out of jail, Iron Fist will need to help Spider-Man take down the Hand in New York City. So, now that I think about it, Iron Fist is a super sleeper theory. But I'd love to know who else you guys think could be in this trailer. Those were just all the characters I could come up with, but I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe. And because this trailer feels intentionally constructed to create mystery, I really do hope it actually delivers something cinema and isn't just a classic Sony bait and switch. So I'm not going to get my hopes up, but I think there's some great possibilities on some characters that could be removed from this trailer and could actually be in the movie. But thank you guys for watching, and God bless you all.